Greetings.
Greetings, man. Yeah. What's that noise? All right, let everything settle down. All right, everything's looking good on this end, man. We're going to get what we get.
Okay.
And they'll just have to put up me having a headache. So, all right, let me get ready. All right. Greetings and welcome to Get the News Straight. I'm your host, Glenn Sutphin, and with me today is political pundit Chris Dorsey. Chris, welcome to the show.
Greetings. How's it going, guys?
It's going. Okay, I guess we'll cover what we covered the other night. We'll just recap a lot of what we already went through since we lost all that footage. Well, we didn't lose the footage. We lost the audio.
Mm-hmm.
So just recap, because I think the first one we did was the Trump, Mike Morrell, Clinton.
We covered a lot of that, and that's still the news. You know that happened as the Friday. They're still covering Mike Morrell. We know that that's cover for Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, because Mike Morrell called Donald Trump a Russian agent, and we know that's cover because Mike Morrell is a Russian agent, of course, too. And when we say Russia, we just know that Russia, China, the United States, the Eurozone, all the, powers of the world, but even the non-powerful countries of the world are all controlled by United Nations Agenda 21, the Bank for International Settlements, the International Banking Cartel, and NGOs and governmental agencies that forward the one world government agenda. So basically all the governments of the world are controlled by all the same Jewish bankers and
Club of Rome and all them, right? Club of Rome and all
Mike
those.
Morrell basically went out on a very, extensive, far limb. He went very far out on a limb, I should say, and brought this thing up about Donald Trump and his associations with Russia. And that's so folks wouldn't and he does have them. He has associations with Russian organized crime and the Rothschild family operating in Russia.
Obviously. I mean, all the puppets
all of it. But also, the most important thing possibly is the fact that Hillary Clinton is such a closely associated agent of the Russian government. And now we went through yesterday, or a couple days ago, the fact that the Soviet style of government was the winner out of the Cold War, the Second World War. The United States of America is no longer a constitutional republic. It is much more like a Soviet state, and
more of a corptocracy, a corporate structure with your president at the top and your CEOs, and then it goes down in a pyramid shape. And it is very corptocracy, corpocratic.
Sure. But also, we want to point out that it's based much more on communism and international communism than anyone would have you believe. We have basically a communist Soviet state. And interestingly, when we get into who's a Russian agent, it seems like Hillary Clinton is the most obvious Russian agent, because she and her husband Bill, or her associate husband Bill,
her cousin,
is very keen on giving nuclear secrets and other secrets away to not only the Russian government, but the Chinese government. And we could get into that, but we want to focus on Russia now. And the fact that while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, the Russian state-owned atomic energy corporation called Rosatom gained control of 20% of the United States of America's uranium production in Oregon, in Utah, and in Texas. And it was Hillary Clinton, while the Clinton Foundation was getting massive donations from Russian oligarchs associated with Rosatom at the same time this deal was going down, and at the same time Bill Clinton was getting huge monetary compensation for speaking engagements involving Rosatom and Rosatom related banks and investors, and that Hillary Clinton brokered this deal with Vladimir Putin, and they're acting as if Vladimir Putin is taking sides in this election. But this is all a big cover because the corporate media arm, the Zionist media arm of the international one world government entity is attempting to get you to think that there is some sort of, dispute between the United States government and the Russian government. And if that were the fact, why would the United States government be giving away weaponized uranium to their biggest rival, the thing that weaponizes the ultimate weapon of war, which is nuclear weapons? But in fact, we know that's just a ruse. We know that the U.S. government, the Russian government, and it wasn't just Hillary Clinton, it was every cabinet level position in the United States government, Department of Energy, the Secretary of the Department of Energy signed off on this deal, Department of Defense signed off on this deal.
Most of Congress, I mean, everybody in there is
everybody
complicit.
signed off on this Rosatom deal.
Or they turned their back and ignored it, which in which case it did,
Well, what I'm saying is that in fact it wasn't just Hillary Clinton that brokered the deal. She was Secretary of State, but that the Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of Energy and every other cabinet level position, they not only okayed this, but they signed off on it. And so we want to just point that out when you see these cover stories go out like Donald Trump is a Russian agent. Yeah, he is a Russian agent. But you know who's even a bigger Russian agent? His opponent, Hillary Clinton. And not only Donald Trump donated millions to the Clinton Foundation, but also that Russian government officials donated millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation. And if you guys want to look into this, just look into the transaction between Rosatom and the Canadian-owned company called Uranium One, which was run by Frank Guistra, who was a very close associate of Bill Clinton, and he seems to have been involved in the nefarious activity with the Clinton Foundation in Haiti as well. So I just wanted to cover that real quick. I wanted to give a shout out to Kyle Hunt that he covered this subject. This is not even news, I should say, because this stuff happened, several years ago, and it was covered in the mainstream media last year. So I just want to point that out when these cover stories to distract from the real events of the world, from the truth and reality of the world come out. Folks like Mike Morrell, when he says somebody else is a Russian agent, and that's Mike Morrell, former CIA head, that means Mike Morrell himself is a Russian agent. So, yeah.
At the top, they're all together. I mean, it's all, you said it, it's a one world order. It's the same people doing the same thing, much like what we have around here in Richmond, the same people doing the same thing. So it's, I mean, if people can't see it, you're blind. I mean,
right.
It's
there. It's there for those with eyes to see and ears
to hear.
Yeah.
And while we're giving a shout out, I want to give a shout out to my son, Nathaniel, for helping me with all the electronic stuff and trying to keep all this shit running for me. He's been a big help, and since it got cut out in the last episode. And let's get a little bit into that, because I've noticed here just lately while we're filming, it's starting to glitch again. So sabotage, it's government, but I go old school. So this, I ain't worried about it this time. We got it all covered.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Let's touch real quick on the Hillary. Since we're talking about glitches and short circuiting, let's Hillary Clinton and her bizarre glitches and short circuits. She's speaking in public and seems to
hold on a minute. They're glitching. Hold on a minute. They're glitching you. Yeah. I'll continue on about her bizarre, almost like my computer fucking up. I mean, she starts doing. Can't walk up steps, can't walk across the stage. You talk to her and she goes off into space. I mean, you talk about MK Ultra and mind control.
Oh, yeah.
Or she has a brain ailment. I mean, concussion and massive head injury, I know for a fact, will lead to bizarre behavior like that. And that kind of person is not fit to be the leader of a country. I mean, sorry, because
also,
it can be compromised on. But go ahead.
Yeah, my apologies. Just go in with this. You know, Hillary obviously closely associated with the trauma-based mind control MK Ultra program. She is lesbian, is sexual predator, and she's right in like her husband, all of these pedophile networks and like wrong.
Yeah, they're breaking you up real bad, mate. Let's end this segment real quick here, and we'll come back with another segment.
All right, sounds good.
This is Glenn Sutphin signing off on this segment.